Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to our latest webcast that we're bringing you from Travel Weekly. And I'm delighted today to introduce you, I think, to someone new, definitely first time on our webcast. This is Kelly Jackson, and she is the new MD of, I guess, the newly created EMEA region for the Travel Corporation's tour brands, which is very exciting. And Kelly, I know, is based in South Africa. So you may not have met her yet, and I know you're going to have a chance to do that because she's coming back and forth between the UK and South Africa. But Kelly, thank you for joining us. And please just tell us a little bit about yourself, first of all.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me, Lucy. It's wonderful to be joining you and getting to know the travel industry in the UK. So obviously my name is Kelly Jackson. I've been with the Travel Corporation for coming up 15 years now. I've been in the industry a little longer. I don't want to give too much away because I might give my age away. But I studied travel and tourism, always been in travel and tourism. I think once you get into this industry, that bug bites you and it's so hard to get out. So I started at Contiki within the Travel Corporation 14 years ago as a general manager for South Africa. And I love Contiki. Everything, it just resonated with me, the brand, and I learned so much and grew within the company. So I think I was in that role about 9-10 years. And then in South Africa, we went to a multi-branded option, and I became the head of sales for what is now known as the TTC tour brands. In South Africa, we kind of got a bit of a head start.
Yeah.
So I was the head of sales for Trafalgar, Insight, Cost-Saver, Contiki, Luxury Gold. I also represent Haggis and Uniworld in South Africa, but under the new TTC tour brands, I'm obviously looking after the tour brands. Yeah, and then about 2 years ago, I think in November, coming up 2 years ago, I was made the MD of South Africa during the pandemic. Nothing like throwing me in the deep end and during a crisis and getting grips with everything. But I thoroughly enjoyed all my learning. And when this opportunity arose, I just couldn't refuse the opportunity to learn and grow even more within the Travel Corporation. And so here I am.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you call it an opportunity, and it absolutely is that. But is it quite hard to run a new region and a new market when you're not here and you've got everything else still on your plate? Because it's a big remit. So how does it actually practically work?
Sure. So actually, funny enough, earlier, well, at the end of last year, we were talking about bringing the contact center to South Africa for EMEA. In South Africa, I don't know if you know this, we have a very high unemployment rate, and at this provided employment opportunities. So we have a huge talent pool here. In the rest of the world, I know they have been battling with recruitment, but it wasn't the same in South Africa. So we started recruiting for the contact center, which was also going to take on the UK, Europe, Ireland business as well, which actually kicked off in July this year. So we already had a portion of the team sitting in my office in South Africa, essentially. So when Donna resigned and this opportunity arose, it was just taking on the sales and marketing section. So most of the team actually do sit in South Africa, and I have an incredible sales and marketing team sitting in the UK. I'm sure you know Becky Francis. She doesn't really need an introduction. She is our newly promoted Director of Sales based in the UK, heading up the UK sales team. And we have Carrie Hopkins, who was actually working for the Travel Corporation on maternity cover, who was just an outstanding individual, such a marketing guru, that we have employed her as our newly created Director of Marketing role. So between the three of us ladies, we've got it covered. I'm in South Africa.
Girl power, clearly.
Girl power all the way. And they are based predominantly in the UK. But I have been traveling back and forth in the last 2 months. I think I've spent 50-50 London, Johannesburg, and I have a few more trips planned for this year. So I'm happy to travel. Just say you can go.
We're all just so happy to travel again, aren't we? So, and I know you are coming over again, as you say, a couple of times for the end of the year, which we'll hope to see you in person. But
yes.
So all right, so that's the structure in the UK. You've got your two wonderful ladies there. But what have been your first impressions then of the UK market? I know we had a chat once before with Gavin. Everyone knows Gavin Tolman. So, and I remember him saying that there doesn't seem to be a dominant player in the UK in the touring market, and he said, so we're going to go for it. So that was kind of his plan. But what have been your impressions?
The UK market is just it's thriving. Everyone is there's so much happening in the UK. Actually, I hope nobody in South Africa watches this, but you've got so much happening. There's always events and shows and insights and sustainability summits and all these great things that are really getting everyone talking about travel and everyone back on the same page. The consortia partners, I have met a couple, not everyone. Everyone is so welcoming. I think those are the similarities between South Africa and the UK. Everyone is so passionate in the industry. Doesn't matter where you reside. The trends are quite different. In South Africa, you need visas to travel anywhere, so it's a longer lead in booking time, and we have a lot of problems getting visas at the moment, whereas the UK, you can decide last minute to travel anywhere. Everyone has been so welcoming. There is so much knowledge and expertise and so many organizations within the UK. I've really been impressed with everyone I've met, everything I've seen. I definitely still have so much to learn about the market. But I'm excited for what the future holds and getting to grips with the market and yeah, taking it on.
Taking it. I love that. I love that. Very enthusiastic, and which we need, of course. And it's great that you have seen that we're so sort of passionate, and lots going on, as you say.
So much.
So, so then in terms of your priorities, perhaps for this market, what have you identified as the key things that you and your team here need to do as we emerge from what has been obviously a very difficult couple of years for not just touring, of course, but for us all?
So with challenges come plenty of opportunities. And I think the relevance of a travel agent has never been more prominent. I think traveling is quite difficult at the moment, and you're going to seek that guidance, knowledge, and expertise. And a travel agent is perfectly positioned to help every potential traveler. So our priority is to really reinforce our position within the trade, really make sure that we are a friend of our trade partners. We know the value and we believe we are stronger together. We want to support them in every initiative. We want to make it easy to deal with. Our contact center, whilst very new, everyone loves and gives us compliments that it only takes about 10 seconds to get to us. So we have
10 seconds is brilliant.
Yes, we made sure we are equipped to assist the travel trade now, because we know their jobs are extremely difficult. There's so much instability, so much change, that we want to be making sure that we are easy, preferred partner to deal with. And our team on the ground, led by Becky, will be in store doing trainings. Whatever they need, we are there. We'll support on marketing wherever possible. So yeah, just to align ourselves with our preferred partners and really elevate our relationships.
And that ethos of being easy to do business with, was that partly what drove bringing all the TTC touring brands together? Because I've been doing this a long time, so not everybody watching this will be as long in the tooth as I am, but you've had different ways of structuring your business over the years. So what's the rationale now with having them all under sort of one brand?
I think you are alluding to a few years back when we had the one-stop touring shop, where our sales team were multi-branded and looking after a lot of the touring brands. However, the other structures were all independent. So you had the sales team reporting into various stakeholders with different messages, and now we have fully integrated it throughout our business. So we have our brilliant visionary CEO, Gavin Tolman, our executive team. We're all singing from the same hymn sheet, and it's a much easier message to digest for our teams, and then for them to obviously go out and spread the word amongst our TTC brands. We have a central marketing team, so that messaging is really condensed for us to actually disseminate further down. And having worked in South Africa in a multi-branded environment for quite some time, it's hard to juggle. Okay, you've got this one giving you this instruction, this one, that one, and now integrated from the top down, the bottom up, we all on the same page. And I must say, it's working extremely well. Just having that direction, we allow it to be agile, we can make decisions quickly, and we are all considering every brand and making sure that each brand gets its share of the market share and its share of voice in the market.
Okay. And I know this is very basic, but for anyone who's watching this who perhaps hasn't sold touring before or is not familiar with your company, just run us through the brands that you look after then in this new structure.
Absolutely, happy to. So Contiki, where I started, is our youth brand, 18 to 35 exclusively. Then we have Cost Saver, which is our budget brand, the ultimate unpackaged tour. I just think it's a wonderful way to travel. Trafalgar, our value for money brand. Insight Vacations, our premium brand. And then we have Luxury Gold as well, which is our limited edition, very exclusive brand. So we have those 5 brands that we do represent. And honestly, we have tours for anyone and everyone within our portfolio of brands.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Now you mentioned taking over or getting this bigger job in the pandemic. I mean, goodness me, what a poison chalice. I don't know, but very difficult. Baptism of fire, maybe we should call it. But just talk to us about where you are now with COVID. Do you feel now that's left behind you, or do you still have protocols in place? I mean, clearly you travel to so many destinations and there are still different restrictions and rules in different places. So I mean, that's another plus really, isn't it, for going on a tour, because it's all looked after for you when there are these complexities.
So I think COVID, as we historically came to know it, is finished in its sense. We still believe in vaccines, and we're still keeping our well-being protocols at the top of everything we're doing. But it has evolved somewhat, but we are getting replaced with new challenges, the domestic and global economic crisis, the war in Ukraine, cost of living that everyone is talking about that relates back to the economies as well, availability, capacity, airfare prices. We are faced with other challenges, another crisis of a different sort. So we are making sure that we are positioned to take these opportunities. We are looking at trends. We're driving everything possible. The trends that are emerging, wide open spaces. Our national park trips have never been more popular, Switzerland. And so you can actually enjoy all of those with us. I don't think we'll ever be the way we were. And Gavin always likes to tell me, Kelly, it doesn't mean we can't be better. The new can be even better than what it was. So we are positioned to operate beautifully in 2023. We've been operating successfully in 2022. What that looks like could change. We are ready. I think when life gives you lemons, make sure you're ready to make that lemonade. And we are definitely positioned to take on the rest of 22 and 23 as well.
Okay. Well, I want to come on to talk about 23 and some of those trends. But before we move on, really, from just when you're talking about whether it's sort of going to be better than before, but I'm interested in how customer behavior has changed and what you've noticed. I mean, you said people were looking for the wide open spaces, your national park tours, for example. So have customers changed in their expectations or their product choice? What are you seeing in terms of your customer base?
So I think everyone wants a hassle-free way to travel. And personally, I think traveling independently at the moment comes with its own set of challenges. So people do want to make sure that they are taken care of from start to finish. And I think touring, therefore, is really relevant because we take care of all the hassle for you. A travel agent can phone us, we make the booking, it's all taken care of if there are any changes. And let's face it, there is still quite a bit of instability and change within. You're going to meet my cat on the call. Sorry. He always likes a bit of a camera hog.
I think we quite like that. That's good. We like that. What's his name?
His name is Maverick, and he is a little maverick. So
lovely. Everyone. Okay. Well, he's made a nice little cameo appearance. We like that.
I'm sorry, but so now I've lost my train of thought.
No, you were saying that touring is very relevant because there are still some changes and complexities around.
So yeah, we take care of all the hassle for the agent as well as the client when they're on the trip. So we make sure everything is taken care of. From a trends point of view, as I said, national parks, wide open spaces. Switzerland is also trending. We're seeing a lot of demand for Italy, Greece, those kind of things. So we're making sure we're on top of everything and adapting and ensuring we've got capacity on the popular options and we're operating to the best of our ability in this new world.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then looking ahead in terms of 2023 then, and particularly in light of what you just mentioned, some of the challenges, certainly in the UK, the cost of living pressures are, something we're talking about all the time. And I'm always saying to people, are you seeing any impact yet? So what are you seeing in terms of the UK market? Is there been a softening, or are people maybe moving down to some of your more value brands, or what are you seeing?
So at the moment, we are seeing a shorter booking period. So that last minute booking trend, which I think has always been a trend in the UK market. For Q1 of next year, we're definitely well positioned. Q2 is looking even better. And I think it's too early to really report on Q3 and Q4 at this stage. So we are cautiously optimistic, but like I said, we're ready for anything that the world throws at us going forward. We know there are going to be tech disruptions. We know that we've got to remain agile. We've got to give our customers the option to deal with us with ease. So we have launched a travel agent portal. So it's one portal travel agents go onto, and they can view all our brands. Before it used to be you go on for Contiki, you go on for Trafalgar, Cost-Saver. Now it's one portal. At the moment, we've got Contiki, Insight, and Luxury Gold on there, and Trafalgar and Cost-Saver will be rolled out next month. So all your bookings are at one touch.
Yeah. Okay. That's really good. And does that allow what's the benefit of that? I mean, obviously it's great because it's one place, but can they then sort of compare prices and then what's included in each offering if they have say got a more price sensitive customer that they're trying to sell the right kind of holiday to?
Absolutely. So you can go in there and you say you want to go to Italy, type in Italy, all the tours will come up for Italy across all the brands. Okay. You then will obviously, as an agent, ask your clients those critical questions to see which brand matches their actual needs. And then you'll be able to compare itineraries with even in those brands if you've ruled out others and be able to look at it. And when you go back and you've made bookings, all your bookings are in one place as opposed to going to multiple websites as well. So it's all there at one glance for you to see what you booked, what is outstanding on payment, and all those kind of good things. So
and you said that the last two brands are going to be on there next month, or certainly
in November, we plan to roll out Trafalgar and Cost-Saver. So our TTC tour brand suite will be available at one touch of a button for all our
And so far, what's the reaction been? I mean, for Becky and the team going out, are they finding that people are really responding well to that?
Absolutely. Everyone keeps asking us, when is Trafalgar and Cost-Saver going to be on board? So I think that's a positive sign that they like going to one place, seeing everything at one glance and making the most of it on there. I think we've got so much to remember, to go into different websites and remember all your different passwords and what you booked where. It's just too complicated. So like I said, we want it to be easy to deal with.
So tech, I mean, we always talk about whether it's the human touch or tech, but it's very much a blend of them both, isn't it? I mean, tech is clearly very important to what your plans are moving forward. So that sounds fantastic. And ready, of course, for the new year, when we normally have a peak season and everyone gets very excited. We clearly haven't had that for a couple of years. Well, nothing in the first year. Then Omicron kind of came along and paid for that last year. So what do you anticipate having a more traditional peak season in the new year?
We are preparing for it and hoping for it. So I will report back at the end of January and tell you if it happened or not. But at this stage, I think if we get through winter, the first part of winter without any protocols and procedures and masks coming back, I think we'll be on a good wicket to see more trends emerging. I think the one thing we are seeing is the only trend is there's no real trend and it can change as and when things are changing. So hopefully we'll get to see a lot more permanent trends emerging from beginning of next year.
Yeah. And a story we're writing a lot about at the moment is around flexible terms. Of course, in the middle of the pandemic, everybody had to be literally offer the nth degree of flexibility because things were changing and people needed that sort of reassurance to book by knowing that they could change things if they needed to. But there's a bit of a call now, certainly in the UK, to say that we need to rein that in a bit because it's very hard as a tour operator to plan. It's very hard for travel agents to sort of work out their businesses. So what's your view on continuing flexibility, or are you pulling back a little bit on how flexible you had been?
So we have pulled back on that. So we have our cancellation policy kicks in 60 days prior to departure. Okay. It helps us manage what is happening on the ground with the coaches. To have that last minute cancellation does affect your businesses. So I'm all for seeing those flexibility T's and C's, be pulled back a lot more in the industry to allow us to really operate. It's very disruptive seeing, just cancellations at the last minute. It doesn't help any business. So I'm all for that. And
so when did you bring yours back to 60 days then? Was that quite?
During the course of this year, I actually can't remember the exact month, but it has.
And you think you can build in you can pull that back even more as you go forward.
60 days was always our pre-COVID T's and C's, and it is our current COVID.
Okay, and there's been no resistance to that.
Not that I have heard at all. In fact, everyone wants to know. I think agents also want to know they've got that booking, everyone wants to know. And I think 60 days is pretty fair.
Yeah. And Kelly, what can we anticipate with regards to pricing going forward? Because obviously we've got lots of talk about energy costs and fuel rises, etc. And most people are saying, yeah, prices are now going to have to go up for various reasons. So what's your plan for going forward in your pricing?
We have our 2023 rates already out. Our dates and rates are available up until even some departures in 2024. The nice part about booking with the TTC tour brands, once you pay your deposit, your price is guaranteed. We don't surcharge. We're not doing any of that, which is another reason to really book us. So yeah, it's there, what you see and what you book at and what you pay.
And our price is higher in 2023 than in the last couple of years. They have gone up a bit.
Yes, because the costs have risen across the world throughout our supply chain.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I know you mentioned travel agents a couple of times. I mean, you said you've been out to see some consortia, and clearly, doing the developments with your technology is something that's going to, I'm sure, be really well received. But what else can agents expect from you? And I guess the second question is, are you seeing your mix of agents that you're working with changing, or are you planning, we've seen a big move for some to home working, and there have been some sort of changes in the sort of distribution landscape. So what's your sort of view on your distribution plans?
So our distribution, we are seeing some agents really perform in the market and really take a lead, and we are going to nurture those relationships. I think we'd be remiss not to look after everyone. We want to see everyone has changed. Somebody who used to only sell corporate is now, doing leisure and vice versa. So we need to check the landscape and do a little bit of a sense check next year, engage with all the agents and see who are going to be selling touring, check the interest out there, but really just nurture every distribution channel. We will put certain strategies in place for home-based versus, your high street retail stores, and there are big differences between the two, and we look forward to fleshing those out. There are a lot of incentives and exciting things coming, but I know Becky will probably shoot me if there are too many cats.
Oh, let's not worry about that. You can't tease us like that. When are we likely to see? So new incentives, and I guess taking people on fam trips you used to do. I mean, that all had to stop, didn't it, for such a long time? So are we likely to see? What are we going to? I mean, I know you won't want to say everything, but give us an idea of when we might find out, what you're going to be doing for the trade.
I'm so excited. So we've got a lot of exciting initiatives. I think we're hoping to launch it probably pre-peaks, if peaks does come back in January, and really give our agents something to look forward to and excited about, and really hopefully get peaks off the ground again. So yep, there's incentives, fam trips, agents discounts, in-store training, e-learning platforms. Hopefully our TAP will be finalized with Contiki and Trafalgar and Cost Saver on there. So yes, we are definitely going to make sure that we are rewarding our agents and really thank them for the support. I mean, they, like us, have been through the ringer in the last 2 years, and I know I couldn't wait to travel again, and I think everyone feels the same. You learn so much more about the world and yourself when you are traveling, so we want to make sure our agents are afforded those experiences.
Brilliant. All right, well, I think that's a pretty good place to end it. Nice and positive.
Yes.
Sort of told us a little bit, but we'll wait to hear more. And it doesn't sound like we've got long to wait if you're going to be announcing some stuff in time for the new year. So well, you haven't sort of you've hit the ground running, haven't you? You've done quite a lot since taking on this role, and we just wish you all the best, and come and see us lots.
No, thank you, Lucy. It's been a wonderful learning experience. Still so much to learn. I cannot wait to meet everyone in the industry. It's obviously going to take a little bit of time. Of course, yourself, thank you so much for your support. I look forward to working alongside you and your Travel Week team. And yeah, just to better times ahead of us, and really embracing what 2023 has in store. And hopefully it's good for everyone in the industry.
Oh, lovely. Brilliant sentiment. And we wish you all the best. We look forward to seeing you at the end of the year. And thank you, Kelly, for your time.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.